Hi guys, my name is Nirmal Singh. In today's video, I'll be demonstrating linking my SQL Server to Microsoft Access 2010 using the ODBC connector. Before we begin, there's a couple of items that we need in order to set up or link my SQL Server to Access. Firstly, we need to ensure that WAMP services or WAMP server is downloaded. How we do this is basically going just do a Google search or WAMP server free download, and we will select the second option. Alright, and basically you scroll straight down to the page and you select either the 64-bit or the 32-bit according which operating system platform that you have on your PC. Secondly, you require to download the ODBC connector. Alright, whilst downloading the ODBC connector, the version of my Windows, I wasn't able to see the connector in Access, so I needed to play around a little bit and download the correct version for the machine to recognize. Alright, so to do that, you can also go down to the archive. Okay, and here you'll be able to select the different versions. I eventually use 5.1-12 or 11, I believe. Okay, let's get down to business. Having already downloaded WAMP services or WAMP server, I will proceed to open the server, and we will have to look for the online status. If you notice here, it is green and you see that all services is running. I now will click on it and open PHP My Admin, where it will redirect to Internet Explorer, and the username that you are going to use is root. There is no password, so we will then click go, and here we go. So this is the basically the interface that we will be using. Firstly, we need to create a new database. To do this, we select database and we will create a database name. In today's video, I am going to use Office Staff. Alright, and I will create Office Staff, and then we will have a name of our table which will be staff 1. Okay, and for the sake of this tutorial, we are going to leave the number of columns as 4. Alright, we can range from 4 to 20, 30, 40, but for today's tutorial, for the sake of simplicity, we are going to keep it at 4. I will then select go, and we are going to fill some details here that we will use in the video a little later on. So the name, I'm going to put surname, then I'll use first name, then I'm going to use gender, and I'm going to use age. So the type, I'm going to use text for surname. I'm also using text for first name. For gender, I'll use varchar, and for age, I will leave it as int, because int is for numerics. Alright, so for the sake of this tutorial, for the surname, we are leaving it at 15. Alright, so we'll do the same for first name. For gender, we will leave it at maybe 10, and age, we will leave it at 3. Alright, having done this, I will then proceed to save our information. Alright, and we will pay attention to the left hand side of the screen where we have office staff name, and then we'll have staff 1, which will have our details. Okay, so having done this, we will minimize the screen, and we are now going to run Microsoft Access as an administrator. To do this, we right click and run as administrator. Alright, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to create a new database. We can change the name of this, or we can leave it as default as database 8. So I'll create. I'm going to close off the open database right now, and I'm going to select external data, and then I'm selecting ODBC database. For the sake of this tutorial, we are going to link the data source by creating a link table. Alright, and then we are going to select machine data source, and I'm going to add a new machine data source. I'm going to select system data source, and then I'll select next. And the ODBC converter I have downloaded was ODBC 5.1 driver. Alright, so it's my SQL ODBC 5.1 driver, and I'm selecting next. Finished. Okay, so for the data source name, I am keeping it as employee, so I'll put employee. Alright, and the user, we are using root because root is what we use to access the WAMP server. And the sake of this tutorial, we are going to select office staff, and then we're going to test the connection. So there we have it, connection was successful, and then I will select OK. I then will double click on employee, and I will select staff, and then select OK, and highlight all four, click OK. Alright, so I will right click and open. So, okay, we are about to populate the names now. So for simplicity, we are going to use Singh as the surname, Nirmal as my first name, gender as male, age as 25, and we're gonna again Smith as a surname, Roger, male again, 2021. Alright, and we are going to select go now because we want to save these particular information. And then for the sake of this tutorial, just to ensure that the information was saved, we will select browse, and I now would like to go back to Microsoft Access to show you guys how the information was successful. Okay guys, so we are back here. So the database that we created before was Staff1. So if we right click and we open it, we have the information that we now have stored in the WAMP server. Alright, so basically that is how we link our MySQL server to Access 2010 using the ODBC connector. I thank you guys for watching my video.